Purple Monkey
Yeah.
dishwasher. Would
Yeah.
that work?
Yeah.
That
That's
would
really
be
cool.
amazing for folks with aphantasia, if you know what that is.
It sounds like a something that's not good.
Yeah, it's pretty much like my boyfriend has it. It's you don't have any inner mind's like you can't picture things in your head. So
Hmm.
like you have to visually see it to
Yeah, it'd be perfect. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
conceptualize
So
it.
you have no inner visualization engine in your
Yeah.
head.
So yeah, if you like you said purple monkey dishwasher, and I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's where the arms would go. But for yeah, for people with aphantasia, wow, that's amazing. Oh my goodness.
That is really cool.
All right, it
Looks like
seems
we're
like
streaming now, right, Brian?
yes, it seems like we're live now. I had a bit of a hiccup. I was like, "Hey, how come this isn't working?" And then I realized I didn't press the start stream button. Pro tip: press start when
Okay.
you want to start streaming.
Awesome.
All right, so actually, welcome everybody to the stream. Welcome guests, Doreen, Bridget, and Paul from left to right on the screen. I'm Brian. Um, I'm going to be accepting this challenge to try to create a campaign for Doreen, for Bridget, using Paul's company's tool. So, uh, first of all, I have 13 years experience doing digital advertising. I've worked with many large brands, international brands, and currently 100% full-time freelancing, and been very fortunate enough to connect with Bridget, with Paul, and I'm actually married to Doreen. So
Oh,
uh, this is sort of like a first try to work together to see if we can get 2 campaigns out in record time.
Yes, let's do it, Brian. Let's do
All
it.
right. So first of all, Paul, maybe you can introduce yourself, talk to us about the technology we're going to be using to create these campaigns much quicker than I normally would have.
Yeah, so what we did is we used GPT-3, which is the latest and most groundbreaking AI technology. We've licensed it from OpenAI. OpenAI is like, it's been the hottest AI startup on the planet. They poached Sam Altman to be their CEO. He was formerly the CEO of Y Combinator. They poached Greg Brockman to be their chief technology officer. He was the chief technology officer at Stripe. And they've just released one earth-shattering model after the next. And their mission is to democratize access to these really powerful AI platforms. They didn't want big tech companies like Google and Amazon and Facebook to all use them on their own to make themselves richer. They wanted to actually get them out into the world. And I love it as a startup founder to build on top of this insane model. So what we've done is we've focused on these marketing use cases. So how to write ads, how to write marketing copy, like sales copy techniques. And then along the way, we've built some nice brainstorming tools as well. So you'll be using like the Google and Facebook ad copy tools today, or probably just maybe just the Google ones today.
Okay. Yes. Today we're going to be focused on Google just because I'm a Google guy. I've started my career in Google Analytics and kind of seamlessly transitioned into Google Ads and been doing that for the better part of 10 years now. I'm so excited to hear about this technology. I think there was a news article a few years back about Microsoft acquiring a similar. Was it OpenAI that they acquired, or was it
They
another?
did not. They did a $1 billion agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And so what
Oh, the
happened was
licensing. Yeah.
it's a licensing agreement. So this latest model is so big that it takes a supercomputer to even operate it.
Right.
wow.
Right.
So Microsoft has like 1 million servers, and so they said we'll operate it for you, and we'll help you deploy this out to like businesses around the planet.
Awesome. And thank you so much for that introduction. So next up, let's go in alphabetical order. Bridget, would you like to introduce yourself to the crowd here?
Sure. Hey everyone. So I am a violinist slash electric violinist slash professional nerd, I guess, is my official title on my business cards. I play violin at weddings and bar mitzvahs and Comic-Cons, and I love just playing tunes that y'all would recognize, like Sailor Moon, Inuyasha for the cool kids. Yeah, so that's what I do on my YouTube channel. I have kind of like a double life of playing, nerdy songs on the internet, but also Bruno Mars and fancier classical music sometimes. In real life. So that's kind of my main issue marketing wise. But yeah, I'm excited to learn more.
Awesome. And I know you have a Patreon, and one of the goals of today's campaign, and I'll explain a bit later, is to get you more exposure on your content side, as well as to get people engaged with your Patreon account. So that's going to be coming up after this introduction and the Fizz Away account. So speaking of which, Doreen, please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Doreen, and I'm Brian's wife, as you all know and heard earlier. This year, or actually last year, we started a business where we make bath bombs and shower steamers, self-care products for everyone to use. They're all natural, handmade. I'm one of the co-founders. It's called Fizz Away. Prior to doing this business, I worked in fashion and also in costuming and film. So I worked on a few different projects. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, I guess there's not much to say besides this business is new to start. We just started up. It's small, and right now we're just continuing to build and try to grow our followers and also our customers.
And part of the reason why I invited Doreen, aside from her being my wife and I want to help her business grow, is that I want to showcase a local campaign, so more focused on smaller regional type of campaigns and some strategies behind that, because not everyone would have as wide a reach as Miss O'Regan there. So without further ado, actually, I want to maybe start, and I'm going to start with Fizz Away, just because it's an easier a smaller campaign and easier to build. Let's go in, and I think something to maybe, instead of just in a boring way watching me type away at my computer, I'd like to ask some questions here and there for our quote-unquote panel to talk about. Paul, you're in the space, being a founder of a tech company, and I'd like to get your take on how you think AI, because your niche is AI in marketing, how AI would affect the marketing and advertising industry in the coming days.
Sure. Yeah. So in terms of AI, I don't know anything about AI at all. The AI model we're using is so easy to use that you just start using it and applying it. And even marketing, I'm not the best marketer on the planet either. So the background that I'm coming at this from is actually as an investor. So my co-founder and I were making venture capital investments for like the past 5 years. So we had seen and invested in hundreds of companies together. And we also were making angel investments. I've made about 20 angel investments as well. And the thing that really, like, what captivated us is that it's been really hard to start your own company and for it to be successful. You have to know something about every single aspect of a business, and there's literally no way to get that experience, right? So sure, you graduate college, you took a few business classes, maybe you start off as a social media marketing manager. That actually might be one of the best ways to get started, because you would be handling like the social media posts, the blog posts, maybe some case studies and things. Like, you would at least know more about how a company is messaging with like the market. But you also need to know about like products, you need to know about sales, you need to know about fundraising, accounting, finance. It's literally too much to do for one person. So when we're looking out and we're saying, okay, we have these AI tools, there is something that horrifies people, which is that the AI will take your job. That's like number one, right? So people don't want to lose their job because this AI tool is like automating their job away. That's on like the one hand. On the
Mhm.
other hand, people have like six-figure corporate jobs that they absolutely hate and they cannot wait to quit.
Oh,
And what they really want,
that was basically me. I had a very cushy marketing job, but I was like, this is not challenging enough, and I wanted to start my own company.
yeah, so
Nice.
it's like driving people crazy to they want control of their destiny, their livelihood. They want to build a company around around their own authenticity. So
Mhm.
doing things they care about, saying it in a way that they want to say it, treating customers like they would want, to be treated themselves. And so this passion and this desire to be entrepreneurs, I think, is innate in every single person on the planet. But I think a lot of us convince ourselves over the years that it's not attainable, that we shouldn't have that dream, or that we don't have the energy, we don't have the passion, we don't know how to do it, we don't have the money. Like, we can make up excuses all day long, but at the end of the day, I think that it is something that is like innate to everybody. And so the companies that like Chris and I really look at as models and inspiration is like Shopify.
Mhm.
So what makes Shopify so great is you can actually start your own business in an hour, right? Doesn't mean you'll sell anything, but you can have all the trappings of it: the finance, the accounting, the analytics, like the social media integrations, the actual product itself. So we see Shopify on the one hand allowing anyone to start an online e-commerce business, and we see thousands of students right now starting their own stores on Shopify,
Mhm.
which is amazing because this future, if you think like AI is going to take jobs, well, it actually makes it easier for you to start your own company. That's the
Right,
flip side of it.
for
And
sure.
most of the narrative in the press, on TV, on the news, like in newspapers, it's all the negative parts for the
Right, right.
regular person, but no one's talking about this entrepreneurship expansion idea. So when you look at our tools, you may not know how to write landing page copy on your own, but in like six, maybe like 60 seconds, you've got the copy you need for a landing page.
Mhm.
You may not know how to name your business. Well, now you just type in what it is you want to do, which is a very natural way for people to work,
Right.
right? Most people, you have an idea of something you want to build and start because you think it'd be cool, or you actually need it yourself. That is actually how we work as humans. So in the startup community, they tell you that that's wrong, and they say, well, you need to go talk to like 100 people in a market and figure out what their pain points are and work your way backwards to what the product should be. And to me, there's nothing human about that. Nobody wants to do that. I'm too lazy to do that. I,
Mhm.
I literally know everyone's too lazy. Instead, they're like, hey, how about like, I'm just trying to think of something really stupid here. Um, you come up with some idea and you're like, hey, it'd be cool to start this business. Like, what if we sold, um, what if we rented hot tubs out, right? Because I
Mhm.
don't want a hot tub all the time, but I might want one like once a month. And we just bring it to your house. We drop it off in your driveway. It's set up. It's already got the water in it, and we're gonna charge you like $50 for that, right? That's a business. So the person that's gonna start that business is somebody like me, who has wanted a hot tub for like the evening, right? And then I don't want to deal with it anymore. So for most people, um, they don't know how to even like, if they have the idea, they don't they don't know where to start with that
Mhm.
at all. So what we're trying to do is also add in some tools into our platform. Like, we want to have any tool you can imagine that you need to start and grow your business. That's going to be in our platform.
That's awesome. And
Um, yeah,
interrupting you right here for a
go for
second,
it.
got to give an important shout out. Satish Kanwar of Shopify. I went to school with him. Great guy. We shared actually the same mentor after graduating, and had some chances to chat him up and learn a lot from him. And he's doing very, very well. And congratulations on your marriage a few years ago and all these other things. Um,
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, actually, Doreen, you just recently did something to your website. Maybe you can talk to us about that.
All right. So speaking of Shopify, one of my business partners, Tiffany, she's been, on Shopify day and night. We wish it took us an hour, but none of us are really that great with web and tech. But you know what? We're managing and we're switching over onto Shopify platform. So we're very excited for that. We've heard only good things about Shopify, and we feel that that's the way we can continue to grow our business and also reach more our audience, reach more people.
Yeah, they've made it easy. I mean, they make it super easy, and they're continuing to make it easy. They've got a great app ecosystem too of plugins. Man, it's where we're headed next. I mean, you're gonna like where we're headed, I think, with our platform. So,
all right, I'm just going to do a quick explanation of what I just did on the campaign side here. I created a regional type of campaign focusing on, well, not Spain, but local areas in Toronto that are affluent neighborhoods, fitting the profile of Fizz Away's dream customers. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start figuring out a copy for these new ads. Oh, where's the login button? There we go.
So this is FizzAway.ca, is that right?
Yes.
Bath bomb connoisseurs, is that us?
Yeah, that's us.
All right, you've got a new Twitter follower.
Yay, thanks. We're not very active on Twitter yet. We're still trying to figure out that platform. It's mostly Instagram and Facebook that I'm on. But yeah, we're going to start learning how to do Twitter, and maybe we'll be using copy.ai.
I wonder if I should use some of our other tools while Brian's building the ads.
Wow, your business cards are beautiful.
So I literally just copied the about section in FizzAway's on FizzAway's website and make copy. All right. Maybe let's do this here. Brigit, can you talk to us about how has the pandemic been affecting you? You're a musician.
How long do we have? Sorry, I was just creeping FizzAway's Instagram. It's so beautiful. Yeah, it's been as much of a mindset change as it has a physical change in business. From last March until June, I think was actually the hardest of it, because we didn't know how long it was going to last. Last January around this time, I already had 200 wedding clients. I had an 8-city Comic-Con tour booked. I had, all this stuff. So it's like, things just kept like canceling slowly. And then by June, it was like the rest of the year was just like, just gone. So March to mid-June was kind of like, okay, should I get another job? How long is this gonna last? What's gonna happen? And so that was the biggest mindset change. Everyone started live streaming all at the same time, so I'm like, oh geez, okay. What can I do to make some money? Because I don't have the best computer. I have a fantastic 2015 MacBook Pro.
Hey,
oh my goodness.
I have one too.
I love it. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it so much. It's fantastic for 99% of the things I gotta do. Live streaming, not so much. Especially using Streamlabs. So I firstly got myself one of these guys.
Nice.
I see you have it set up like that, and I just said, hey, what's up, composer friends? I now have a, professional home studio. I have Logic X Pro. I think I invested about $500 into my home studio. And then I said, all right, I'm open for business. Who needs recordings? And then, by the time April, May happened, everyone was like, okay, yeah, looks like gigs aren't going to happen this summer. I'm going to focus on my album. Oh, all of a sudden I need
Mhm.
violin. Or, ooh, how would this sound with violin? Oh, I have this, like studios all of a sudden got a bit more invested in their composers just because everything else was kind of flat. So yeah, that definitely helped. And then oh my goodness, yeah, it was a huge big shift from, hey everyone, I'm gonna be at 200 weddings and I'm so excited to play your wedding, and I'm so excited to be in your city dressed up as Sailor Jupiter or female Hercules or Waluigi, going to
I love the Sailor Jupiter costume.
oh, thank you. It's my favorite one, and I know that there is a Sailor Scout who plays violin. I know that. The internet has told me in many different colorful languages that that's fact. However, Sailor Jupiter is my favorite, so
Hmm.
what are you gonna do? Invest in something that's accurate or invest in something you like? I think that's a good business strategy to start off with.
So I have an older sister, and I watched a lot of Sailor Moon when I was a kid,
Yes.
and
Yeah, you too.
my favorite was Sailor Mars.
Yeah. No, 100%. Who's your favorite, Doreen?
I like Sailor Mercury. She's smart.
Yeah, she's like, okay, everyone, by my calculations, and then Sailor Mars is like, Serena, you should stop eating so many donuts and fight the baddie over there. Serena's like, bruh, but like, it's like 2-for-1 donuts today, and they're like, oh, so silly. Um,
The dubs
yeah,
were
I
kind of
would,
ridiculous, I feel. But that was the
yeah,
only thing that was available when we were kids.
on a Teletoon, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Teletoon.
Yeah, I was like 5'11" when I was 12, kind of deal. So I absolutely was drawn to Sailor Jupiter, Mako, and her being like, I can't fit into the school uniform, so they just let me wear whatever. And I'm like, yeah, girl, I get it. Ooh, yeah, but honestly, the next big change was micro weddings, micro events. I was rearranging my contract to say, I will go to your event. Please do not come within 6 feet of me.
Right.
You know, if you would like me to not wear a mask at your event just for the photos, I must be 12 feet away from everyone. And people, oh yeah, totally, signed, sealed, delivered, all good. And then folks would come up to me, like hands outstretched. It was like a zombie film just in my head, just like hands outstretched, coming in for the hug. I'm like, no, the contract's, oh my gosh. They're like, oh well, I've been safe for the past 2 days, it's fine. I'm like, no.
So I had some business meetings, and it was so weird to not shake hands with people, and I was like, oh, but this is not
Yeah.
normal now.
Because it feels rude, but at the same time, it's very much not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just come to Memphis and you'll shake the hands anyway.
Yeah. Go to Quebec and they'll be like, we'll just kiss you on both sides of the mouth. It's fine.
Yeah.
Mwah, mwah, salut. Oh my goodness.
Actually, Paul, has there been any shift since the pandemic hit in terms of like the startup scene? Like, have you heard anything from anyone in your network, how things have pivoted, or tech's in a weird space right now, I feel?
Yeah, I think it's unlocked a lot of talent that wasn't in San Francisco. That's number one. So it would have been very hard for me to build this last year. It would have been very hard. But now nobody cares. Like, oh, I'm in Memphis. They're like, oh, okay, great. Like, I'm I'm in Vermont because it doesn't matter anymore, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been great. And then I heard that Y Combinator, so like the top accelerator, they just accepted a record number in this
Wow.
winter
Mm-hmm.
batch. So they went from like 200 companies in a batch. This one's gonna be 300 companies.
Wow.
Like to do 300 is insane. Like it is absolutely insane. So I just have a feeling like people just said, you know what, I'm gonna go do my own company. That's what I'm gonna do, and that's great. You're gonna see like the output of this, but it'll take time for all this to pop up.
Mm-hmm.
But even us, like this is month 3, and you know we just hit like our 30,000 a month revenue. Like
Wow.
today,
Congratulations.
crazy. So that's over like 700 paying customers. A lot of big companies. Shopify is a customer. IDEO, the design agency, is a
Oh
customer.
yeah. Wow.
That's
So
amazing.
we've got some good stuff going on. I did want to mention real quick. So we have a tool called Viral Ideas. Have you guys tried that out?
No.
Maybe. Okay, it's good. It's a good tool. So for this one, I use Fizz Away as the brand name, and then in the description of product, I just typed bath bomb. Like that's it, and
Mhm.
that's enough to actually give this tool, like get this tool ready to go. So here are some ideas. So these are different things you could do for your business. It's not ads. So one is like limited run batches. Have you done anything like that? Like you could brand these batches like
Yeah, like
you
a
could,
holiday special or birthday special, Valentine's Day, let's say, coming up.
yes. So that's like, hey, this is an obvious thing to our tool, the Viral Idea tool. Making it easy for people to share the bath bomb experience and fun. So like, hey, post a video of it, like going in and like slow mo and like, post it to our account, tag us in it or whatever. Another viral idea is to create a custom playlist for each bath bomb.
Ooh.
I'm like, that sounds good, right? Like you put it on the packaging, like here's our Spotify playlist, and it's like relaxing or whatever, and then you tailor that to the mood of each bath bomb. Create and share videos of bath bombs exploding. The funnier, the crazier, and the more insane, the better. That's what it says, right? So what's the craziest bath bomb video you could think of? That's like a YouTuber kind of thought process.
Mm-hmm.
Offer a video on how to make those bath bomb gifts, like in tips for newbies, right? So you turn the bath bomb into this kind of experience. This one, I don't know exactly what this means, but it says create a new category of bath bombs for nights out called date bombs. Like, I don't know what that would be. And then this would be more like Pinterest oriented, but like showing people what different bath bombs look like, but then like the tubs are beautiful and amazing. So you're like selling the entire experience, right? Not just the bath bomb itself.
Visuals and everything. That's important.
Mm-hmm. So all I did was type in Fizz Away bath bomb into the viral growth tool, and that was from the first 2 pages of ideas. And each time you run the tool, it'll generate a new set that's no better or worse than the last one.
Mm-hmm.
It just does it again and again and again.
And that's on your website, copy.ai?
Yeah, it's in the brainstorming tools section.
That's really cool.
That is really cool, especially for many people who are like, everything's been done, let's say. Now you have options to look at.
Yes, so if you want to take anything to the next level, you add in a very specific like keyword or phrase or to target it that way. So if it's like bath bombs for the elderly, it's gonna morph around that topic and play around with it. So that's where you want to take these tools, is you can do it by customer persona, you can use it by like use case, or just throw in random stuff.
Yeah, you can find like niche markets like that.
Yes. So all right, we have a tool called Next Product that'll try to predict
That one
your
I
next
played
product.
with. That one I played with.
Okay.
That one was awesome.
So I typed in Fizz Away. I described the product as bath bomb. Like this isn't you don't have to get that insane with it. And then I click make like generate, and the first results are aloe bath bomb, which is not that interesting, body spray. So these are going to be consistent with the theme. Shower power, and I'm like, I don't know what is shower power, right? Is it a bath bomb for your shower? You like tie it up on the shower head?
Well, we have
Oh.
a shower steamer, which is like a mini bath bomb. It's not even a circle, but you place it in your shower, and then when water hits it, it releases the steam, like releases essential oils into your bath.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So this picked up like the shower power idea. I don't know. You can play around with that. It says Fizz Away is party drinks made with 5% alcohol and 90% soda. Right? Got your bath bomb and your beverage. The next one. This is all on the first page of results. This took 6 seconds. The next product should be a bath bomb, but it's mouthwash.
I don't know about that one.
Ooh.
So it explodes in your mouth, right? You put it in there, you don't know what's gonna come out.
It's like the rock candy, the pop rocks on your tongue.
Yes, but it's mouthwash.
You know what? Tide Pods were a thing. Like, people kept eating those even though they were poison. So I think you're onto something.
It would have that coating, which is like dissolvable, and then it would come out, and like you don't know what the color is, you don't know what the flavor is gonna be. It's gonna be what people wish the Tide Pods were like.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think we just made a $1 million idea there.
Look, this is why I'm so excited about this platform, because it's nuts.
Just like pay one TikTok creator to make it go viral. You're set to go.
That's for Doreen to do. Yeah, we like TikTok a lot. Let's see here.
TikTok's a lot of fun. Like
It is.
for any idea that I was like, yeah, I should make a YouTube video about that, but I don't want to, like, you know, I feel like YouTube is kind of like your resume in a sense, and you want to keep it a bit like clean and nice and like a bit more professional, and then Instagram is like, hey guys, fancy. Then TikTok's like, what's up, it's your boy.
We don't have time. Yeah, 15
Yeah.
seconds. Give it to me. Right. Value proposition.
It's
Way
just like,
into it.
it's just like, whatever. Hey, what's
Look,
up? Here's an idea. Bleh.
I've learned the most about marketing from TikTok.
Yeah.
Hey, if
From
you're not on
any
you're,
medium.
if you're not advertising on TikTok right now, you definitely should.
Yeah. I just finished up my first campaign for, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say their name yet, but they are a non-alcoholic beverage company in Ontario, and they're like, here's
Oh,
some
that
money, make some yeah, exactly. TM. And they gave me a bunch of money to make TikToks. I'm like, wicked, cool. So what do you want me to do? They're like, anything that you think would be hype with the Gen Zers.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Anything.
And then I just did a bunch of stuff. Like, there are hooks on my wall right now because I put like the beverage is not clear, so I just like put like a jump ring, super glued it to the inside, and then like put fishing wire through it to make it float, so I could be like,
Oh wow.
whoa. And they're like, oh yeah, that's perfect. Like, oh,
That's awesome.
okay, like, do you want me to do anything else? They're like, no, just do a bunch of those. Like, oh, okay. But you couldn't make that into a whole YouTube video unless you're like, all right, everyone, how to make beverages float using fishing wire and lots of glue.
All right, I'm actually just coming up on finishing up the campaign. Again, this is just like my other video tutorial. Instead of doing it live, I recorded prior, so that was a lot less pressure. But that was a good trial run for this. I'm basically done the campaign for. So, what time savings did I have here? Is I had a lot of like I didn't have to think about what to write on the ads, and I didn't have to think about whether or not it matches with the audience or the tone. Copy AI does that for you automatically once you've set up your campaign. And I would say like for a campaign like this, it at least saved me 10 to 15 minutes, which would be 50% of this build, because we're coming right around the 30-minute mark for this campaign. So just kind of a quick explanation of what this campaign and my thinking behind this is. Maybe I'll zoom in so everyone can see it better. I created a regional campaign targeting neighborhoods in Toronto that are affluent, who has the disposable income to buy, a luxury product like this. It's not priced particularly expensive, the products, but it's at the very least, you need a bathtub. And for the shower steamers, it's a lot less pricey, but we're aiming to hit the Valentine's Day gift market. So for a new brand like Fizz Away, what I like to do is I like to geofence a campaign and try to use display ads to push out the brand name as much as possible, so that people build that familiarity with the brand. And so right now it's kind of like the branding phase. I would probably run this for about 10 days prior to that. So run it for the next 10 days, and then for I guess the remainder of the time push more heavily into the Valentine's Day theme. So the branding campaign would run for the 10 days, hitting the a geofenced area, trying to get the name out there as much as possible, so people maybe in passing would see the name Fizz Away. And then from there, I like to do two types of tests. An audience targeting and a custom audience. And what that does is within the targeting settings, you can choose affinity or in-market audience, which typically has a wider reach. And custom audience is building an audience based on search intent, or based on websites and behaviors that websites they visit, or their a user's online behavior. And I'll actually show how to build a custom audience a bit when building Brigit's campaign. But now that we have a branding elements settled, the next thing to focus on is the conversion elements, which is this search campaign here. And some of the keywords that I would probably focus on for this campaign would be things like Valentine's Day gift. And as we approach Valentine's Day, I would probably create another campaign that pushes more urgency, and perhaps maybe even create a campaign to do remarketing. So all the people that have come through these two branding campaigns, that display campaigns that are more on the branding side, hitting those people again closer to the date, to maybe offer a discount, maybe create some urgency to get them to purchase. So this is sort of like in a nutshell. Some of the ads that I picked out, I'll show you guys here. Again, this is all like basically 99% written by the AI. I tweaked a few of the words here and there. Give your bath some Fizz Away. I'm not 100% in love with this one, but it's a test. We can test it out. Try one of the bath bomb today. That's very straightforward. Get a Fizz Away bath bomb. Again, straightforward. Shop handmade bath bombs. Bath bomb handmade with love. And the description. Our bath bombs are made with the finest ingredients, essential oils, and love. This one I love a lot. So I'm going to be testing whether or not to keep this for the second round. So after the branding phase. Every Fizz Away bath bomb is handmade with love and the best ingredients. Are you looking for the best fizzing bath bombs made with fresh and natural ingredients? Each Fizz Away bath bomb is handmade with love to give you a fizzy bubble bath experience. So all of this is written by the AI, and like again, writing stuff like this would probably, I have to research the brand. I have to take a look at their websites. I have to read their copy that they've used before, or maybe navigate through the website to find nuggets like value props, etc. This saved me probably at minimum 10 minutes. All right. Doreen, I think you... what's your schedule like? I think you have some orders that you have to fulfill. So perhaps if you want to drop off, you can.
This was a lot of fun, and I'd love to stay, but you're right. I do have some orders to fulfill. We did just launch a Valentine's Day promo, and so I guess I'd have to talk to you guys later. It was a lot of fun, though.
Nice talking to you, Doreen.
Yeah.
Lovely meeting you.
Hopefully we'll see you guys soon.
Okay.
Online again. Okay. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
All right, I'm gonna tweak this a bit so we are.
So we have a tool called Hook Generator for like your TikTok or Instagram video. It's like that's not an ad, but you need something to resonate with people. So this one is: put this pretty bath bomb in your tub with your lover, and you will be wrapped in magical vibrations only known by the name. And then it says chocolate cupcake, like the bath bomb. This is a bath bomb that I made for Valentine's Day. A bath bomb made out of brownies, chocolate, and cheesecake that fizzles when it dissolves. It smells like chocolate and strawberries.
Like made out of them, as in I could technically eat them.
Yeah.
Those are some dangerous words right there. I will try at least twice.
All right.
Let's see here.
I'm gonna switch it to this screen, just because I don't know how to resize the Zoom windows.
We have another tool called Relatable Experiences. This is for like TikTok and Instagram, and these results give you like something to relate with your audience. So it says when you get excited for the bath bomb to fizzle and it gets stuck at the bottom of the tub, like that's one of these relatable experiences.
Yeah, that happens.
When you get the last bath bomb at Bath and Body Works, when you buy way too many bath bombs and you accidentally drop them all into your bathtub at the same time.
I can't say that has not happened to me before. All right, so
I've never actually used a bath bomb.
Oh,
I wanna after this though.
It's actually kind of fun. It's like, I don't know how to describe it.
My kids love it. We got them a rainbow one, and they were just freaking out. So like as the tub's filling up, it's like one color after the next starts like rainbowing.
Oh yeah, those are awesome.
Aww. I'm way too, what's it called? Like I wouldn't have the patience, I guess, for a bath bomb. I'd just be like, okay, great, the tub's full of water, it sparkles, great. Okay, now I want to get like I always need to be like doing something, or like I'll be in the bath and I'll be like, this is nice and relaxing. Okay, now there's like 500 other things I'm thinking of now that I'm alone with my thoughts. Oh no.
I've done that quite a lot too, where I'm just sitting in the bathtub, but then now I'm thinking about, okay, I'm getting antsy because I need to do work.
Yeah. This year, because of the thing, this was the first year since I moved to Toronto 5 years ago that I have been able to sit in a park and just like chill, just like read a book, because the other years I was like, oh man, well I can't do that because I need to make myself busy looking for gigs, looking for work. Or when I was busy, I was like, well, I can't do that now because I'm so busy. So it's just kind of, I, I mentally I couldn't just find the time to relax until this year when it was like, okay, you, you can't do anything else. Maybe just try chilling for like an hour. Give yourself an hour. Find a park. And then I just walked around my neighborhood. I'm like, oh my goodness, there's so many beautiful places. Okay.
That's
And you did that for one day.
Yeah.
I'm still learning too. I'm still learning to because we go into like entrepreneurship. We try to be our own boss, own our own thing, to have that freedom and being able to enjoy your life. But like
Yeah.
if you're for me, it was just like in the beginning of the pandemic, it was like awesome. I have all this time to work on my own business. I worked and I did work for like
Yeah.
16 hours a day for an entire month. And I was like,
Ooh.
I actually am doing the opposite of what I set out to do. I'm
Yeah.
actually having less time to enjoy life.
Is when you are your boss, you like if you are quote unquote successful, then you're always working or you're always thinking about work,
Hmm.
kind of deal. Yeah.
All right, Bridget.
It's
Oh, sorry, Paul. What are you saying?
I was one of those people that had a hard time delegating when we were doing group projects in like high school. You
Mm,
know, I wanted to do all the work,
yeah.
and at the end of the day, the your teammates who don't have to do any work but they get a good grade, those are the people that got it right,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they learned how to delegate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the people that work their butt off, like, you're just burning yourself out.
Yeah. I've been lucky enough to have like a pretty good steady YouTube income. So this year, instead of putting that income into, my general checking account, I made like an extra YouTube thing. So it just goes into this one account. And then all of that money is like, okay, this is the stuff I'm going to reinvest. So instead
Mm-hmm.
of doing all the backing tracks myself, instead of trying to buy a tablet to do my own graphic design, instead of like, all that, it's like, cool, this is the chunk of money that I give to my friends who are good at things so that we can work together. Let's do it. And it's been so much better, honestly.
All right.
Ooh.
You have some awesome videos, by the way. I'm just now checking.
Oh, thank you.
You were
And
like famous. You're like actually famous now.
I am
Wow.
I am a
Yeah,
person on
she's-
the internet who lives
Holy
in
crap.
She is famous.
You gotta get. I want you to sync up this Zoom background that you've got with this personality I see here on YouTube.
All right. So,
It's
Bridget,
Where's the
let's.
Zelda outfit? Sorry, I just feel like I'm being shortchanged on.
I know it's my day off. Yeah.
That's what Patreon's for, right?
Yeah, that's what Patreon's for. That's yeah.
This is amazing.
I have, there we go. I have my ping pong, my colored ping pong ball, and
Nice.
plastic recycling for the wings. So there's something right there.
You know,
Amazing.
I've never gotten into the Zelda franchise. I was always the oh jeez. Ah,
You're
Well, you
more
have
like
a new Twitter follower.
Oh, thank you. I do like Twitter is the one thing that
oh my
I
gosh.
do not check as much. I'm just like, it's okay. Instagram repost of like it's just such a typing thing instead of a auditory thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like on the least prior. It's the least priority for me. at
Lowest
the moment,
priority.
but yeah, it's the lowest priority. But I do agree that it is very good to be on it. But
All right.
We'll get there one day.
Bridget, your
What-
campaign is going to look basically like this. I'm sorry to cut you guys off. I
That's
want
fine.
to try to build this in the next 30 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. So your goals are to get you more, engagement on YouTube, people more consuming more of your content, and also to have more engagement with your Patreon. So I kind of figured, okay, from all of this, when you implement new tiers or introduce new perks, we'll create campaigns for you so that you can go through YouTube, TikTok, and then YouTube ads, Google display ads, Twitter and Instagram ads, kind of like a cohesive approach to make those announcements, and then to get people to be aware of these new perks and tiers, so that you can increase that engagement.
Yeah.
So this is sort of like a little map that I drew up. When you get a new website, I know you talked about or expressed an interest in creating a new website.
Yeah.
This is sort of like where you can take organic Instagram, you can push it to the website, also get them to come to your YouTube channel, and of course, if you have YouTube, organic YouTube videos and YouTube ads, they push to your YouTube channel. And image ads on Google will push people to your new website. So now you're kind of you're shifting your focus and using the different platforms like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter as discovery platforms for your home base, which I would say would be this new website you're going to be creating. And actually encourage a lot of musicians and artists to do this, because you won't be at the whims and mercy of the algorithm of these other companies. So you have more control of whether or not people can access your content, which is this new YouTube or this new web page that you created. And of course, through your YouTube channel and your website, they all go back to your Patreon page, which gives off all these different acts. So you have your discovery points. They lead to both your the two major medium for people to connect with you on, YouTube and your webpage, and then they get funneled into your Patreon page. So this is sort of the idea. And I would focus today on the YouTube ads and the Google display ads for you. So I'm going to create some in-stream ads, discovery ads, and remarketing video ads. And responsive display ads and remarketing responsive display ads for you.
Wow.
All right.
So fancy. I also last night just put a down payment. It's not a house. Down payment on a Mac Mini, so that I can do videos that are longer than 10 minutes without my MacBook Pro screaming at me. It's gonna be really exciting.
I put a filter on this mic so that it doesn't actually, like, my laptop is just like right here.
And it's like
it's screaming right now.
Oh no. Oh jeez. Yeah, I tried to, like, I'd love to do streaming, and I tried to do it on this computer. I do 3 hours of streaming a day on either the platform of the day kind of deal. And phone is pretty good, but now that people are used to seeing the chat on the side, having like a little like bing, like thank you for donating $5, the bar has been raised, and I need to raise along with it, and with that comes investing in a machine that can do that.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Could you give me a maybe 3 to 5 sentence description of you as the content creator?
Sure. Let's see. Okay. Electric violinist, Sorry. Let's see. Just like a tagline, or just, yeah, I guess just description. So, electric violinist in Toronto, most known for pop culture themes, film, and TV covers.
All right.
I guess would be the.
Maybe one more sentence so we can feed the AI a bit more information.
Yeah, let's see. Oh my goodness. Why is it so hard to suddenly talk about yourself?
I have this crippling inability to promote myself, and I've only
Yeah.
been learning to do that recently. I
Let's
prefer to
see.
promote other people and help other people get their audience.
Yeah. I guess should I say something about like X amount of followers on YouTube or Facebook, or that's not really a thing. That's more That's more of a promotion of self, not really for the AI. Let me see.
Or
I mean,
maybe what about some of the favorite characters that you've gone in and cosplayed, or played their your favorite theme songs, or because right now we're
Okay.
trying to tap into that culture of anime and cosplay,
Yeah.
that type of media.
Okay. So I'm running through all the animes that will be coming out in the next couple days to months. So let's say uh, audiences love her covers of Legend of Zelda, Demon Slayer, because that was coming out real soon. Attack on Titan.
Oh, I love Attack
That
on
one's
Titans.
in his, oh man, final season, episode 6. It's going down for real. And My Hero Academia, or Boku no Hero Academia. Let's go My Hero Academia. I think it's more known.
All right. Let's see what the AI spits out.
The AI is like, nerd.
She's a ninja.
Yeah. I just started to get some like sticker designs and everything, just because I'm like, you know what? Let's finally do some merch, because I've been thinking about it for a while. But I'm like, well, what do I want to do? Where do I start? And I just finally took the indecision of the past year and was like, okay, stickers. Let's start from there. Let's work our way up. Because the whole thing's so daunting. Like, cool, stickers, let's go. So one of them is, I got a friend to draw a like little cartoon violin, and then
Nice.
on the top, in kind of the comic book letters, it says nerd guitar, and the violin has like little nerd glasses on it, because violin is the nerd, is the guitar for nerds. And that came from like a hate comment who was like, oh, you and your nerd guitar should just bleh. And I was like, oh wow, thank you, sir. That's actually really smart. Yeah. Oh, huh. You're getting none of the tagline shares, but block, delete, fantastic.
Stolen.
And stolen, absolutely. He just gave that one away for free.
Actually, speaking of giving things away for free, Paul, I want to thank you in person for gifting this license of Copy AI to me for free.
Yeah, happy to do it. Brigit, you get a copy too if you want.
Oh my goodness, are you serious? Thank you. I would absolutely, like, I was just gonna get one either way, but oh my goodness, wow.
Oh, actually, I didn't mean that, but
what? I was gonna buy it at the what is it called? The extra mega pro level?
the MSRP on that. Yeah, you have an interesting there's definitely a use case here for content creators and
Mhm.
creators in general. So I actually would love to think about like how you can use some more of the other tools in particular, in addition to the ad ones that Brian's using right now,
Yeah.
because like Chris, my co-founder, and we know that in the future, all the marketing that you're going to see is going to be like increasingly organic based, and that's basically like up to the creator. How creative can they be? And an AI tool is like a creativity enhancement. So
Yeah.
it'll help you, like give you ideas for your next video, give you ideas literally for anything. So
Yeah.
anything you can imagine can be built into our toolkit. Okay.
That's awesome.
Absolutely anything. So if you're like, man, I would love just like any, I don't know. We have so what you'll want to do is check out some of these weird tools that aren't going to make sense to you, like carousel posts. I don't know if you do any carousel posts, but this is
Yeah.
like your outline for a carousel post.
Yeah, it's usually me in cosplay, or like just like me doing something, and it's like, Instagram likes big faces kind of deal. Like they like your face to be like right there. So it'll be like big
Yeah.
face, and then like I'll carousel to me doing like a silly pose or something, and then I'll carousel to me in like a group shot. Because if you do it the other way around, Instagram's like, cool, I don't care. Like my
The, we've got I understand. We've got one in particular, one tool called Instagram Caption Generator, which is probably one of our best tools.
ooh.
So you describe what's going on, and then we hit you back with like short form text. We throw emojis in there. It'll make up hashtags for you too.
That's amazing.
So you need to check that one out
Yeah.
for sure.
What I have right now for my for my hashtag game, where is it? I have a note. Oh, there we go. You can't see it. There we go. So I have a note, and it's like, I have different things. Like when I'm in cosplay, it's one chunk, and I just copy and paste the
I do that too.
the chunk of text. But honestly, that sounds a lot better, because it would probably go through it and say like, oh, 1 million people are using Link cosplay. Ugh, nah, I got you, fam. Let's do.
It makes it funny. They will come up with some funny ones for you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, computers are. I mean, I'm glad to give myself to our computer overlords. They're funny.
I'm telling you, there's like what I'm doing right now. In probably like 5 years, it's gonna be all because I'm a huge nerd. I follow chess, and chess AI has gone to a point where it no longer just calculates the value of a move. So like let's say 10 moves, they calculate, all iterations or all possible moves, 10 moves down the into the future.
Yeah.
And they pick the best move to play, and that's sort of like how AI was back in the day. Now with DeepMind, called Leela Chess Zero, they or Alpha Zero created Leela Chess Zero. The AI is more aware of the board and its positional play rather than like purely value based play. So even if they lose a piece to the opponent, but if the opponent's same piece on the other side is trapped in like a corner and can't be moved, they'll evaluate the position as equal. So it's kind of like aware of the situation. It's amazing. And I think in exponentially increasing, because the data AI consumes to learn is just exponential. So I feel like sooner rather than later, what I'm doing is going to be phased out, and I am all the more happy to let the computer overlords take my job.
But that's gonna let you do the things that you want, that you like in your job, kind of like maybe the front-facing, more customer service stuff. I mean, this, like this right now, like if you want to teach, then like heck, that people would people are always going to want that human element to it. So you can just be like, cool, robots, you do all the stuff I don't want to do. Now I have more time to
Oh yeah, for sure.
enjoy Fizz Away bath bombs.
I actually
I think
prefer to design campaigns. So like what I'm doing, that like slideshow I did for you, that's what I enjoy doing. And designing for AI is something that I want to be better in.
Yeah, I think I don't know how much or how fast it's gonna happen, but the like Google hasn't done this yet. They could do it easily. They could automate your whole ad campaign, and I don't know why they don't. Exactly.
I think that
I'm not sure why they don't. I mean, look, just think about how many ads have they run. They're selling like 130 billion dollars of ads a year. They know what words convert for which use cases.
Oh,
Right?
100%. I think it's
So
it's political as well, because like Google
it has to be.
came up
There's-
with like the agency model, right? And
Yeah.
they're not gonna bite the hand that feeds them.
Right, but at the same time, it's like it's a waste of human capital and talent, right? Because they have all the data, and they're actually working on a model that's 5 times the size of the one we're using. They're going to build a 1 trillion parameter data model because they have it all. And I'm like, well, what are they waiting on? And even like website copy, they have Google Analytics, embedded in pretty much every website. So they're just playing games with us at this point. Like,
quit playing games with my heart.
Exactly. Look, we know what Brigit wants, right? She wants to minimize the time she spends building her business. She wants to get the most money out of her business. And where that intersects, she wants to have the most fun she can.
Yeah.
So she can, right? So if you can go to Comic-Con like one time and get enough video content for a whole year, like just automate the output, like the distribution of that stuff. Don't make me like piecemeal it and like try to chop everything up by hand and come up with all it's a lot of work to do what you're doing. And not only that, like
so much fun,
Patreon makes it even, but like these subscriptions make it even harder because then you have like a content schedule you have to get on.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I have my lower, like my monetary tiers are lower. I used to have like, starting at 5, 10, 15, 20, and then like a $50 one.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, just no one was like, oh, I can definitely, and I assumed that it would be a slower process. But yeah, just like the pressure, I guess, was just like, man, I have like 100 things to do, and now there's 110. Man,
Right.
but like if you're like, hey, cool, everyone, like $1, $3, $5, $10, like it's good for $7. I will shout you out on Instagram once a month. Like let's go. Hey, thanks to my Patreons.
Oh, can you shout us? Can you shout us out?
Oh, absolutely. Like I just shout you out like twice during this Zoom call.
Whoa.
Very, very sneakily.
I'll shout you out on Twitter. What I love about Twitter is you've got these people with like 1 million TikTok followers, and then on Twitter they have like 300 followers.
Yeah.
They're like, what do I do? Like my posts aren't working. It's like, yeah, it's a different platform altogether.
It's a whole different beast.
It's a different beast.
Actually, speaking of which, Paul, you are building in public. Maybe you can. That's actually how I met you. So maybe you can talk a bit about that.
Sure. So, I got on Twitter in August of 2010, and I didn't use it. I just reserved my handle, basically, and so I didn't use it until about 18 months ago. And got on, and it was like, until you know who to follow, your Twitter feed is worthless, right? So until you find people that you really want to follow, and it's not easy. There's no guide, there's no list like, hey, this is how we're going to onboard you and activate you as a user. So it's really, really tough to get going. And then I realized, like, unless you're building stuff, no one cares about what you think at all. Like, zero care. Like, how are you going to add value to people, and how do you do it at scale is the real question on Twitter. So you can have all the hot takes you want. You can cuss out the president if you want. At the end of the day, nobody really cares. And so this year we started building stuff, just side projects, and we started sharing the journey along the way, and that actually got real engagement.
Nice.
So the king of that is Elon Musk. Everything he launches is going through his Twitter account. So he's got 40 million followers, and he can launch any product he wants. We don't care if it's a car. We don't care if it's a rocket ship.
Not a flamethrower.
We don't care, right? And even the flamethrower, I think he sold like $10 million worth of flamethrowers.
Wow.
In a week.
Pocket change for Elon, though.
Pocket change, right? And he's using it to bootstrap a company with that. Like, it's insane. So he understood the value of the medium, and he understood how to use it. And the way he uses it, there's almost like, maybe he has a filter, but it doesn't seem like it sometimes. So what you're getting is authentically him, and that actually resonates with everybody. And then you look at huge brands, and they post product updates or something, and they get 0 likes on it. Huge brands. And then they will promote the post. So you'll see, like, I see ads for IBM, and it's just like leading, AI technology, like, find out more or something. It's just bland, generic corporate speak. And then you click into the comments, and they're awful. It's people just railing against the company and bringing up every bad thing that company's ever done or every project it's ever been a part of. And it's every single time. And they're paying to promote this. I'm like, more people read these comments than they do whatever the click thing is. I'm like, how much money are they spending to promote this content? Like, the content doesn't work organically. So why are you even promoting it at all? It's like, it boggles my mind. It's just an easy way to blow a lot of money. So then when you see that they lay off, then they do like layoffs. They lay off like 10,000 people at once, right? And I'm like, how is that possible? How do you just like overnight go, forget it? 10,000 people gone.
Yeah,
it's crazy. So why that's like the old corporate ladder is like leading you to this path where the whole company gets laid off because it's incompetent.
Yeah.
Right. So I think I don't think there's a future in that. I think the future is it is more entrepreneurship, but at the same time, it's really hard. So if you're an entrepreneur, you may feel like this constant panic attack, like I do. It's like, oh, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry for the next week because I'm thinking about these 30, 40 things I need to do. Or this content that I'm behind on posting, or this blog post I haven't gotten done yet. It's like never ending stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, how again is this worth it? And like Brian said, you're working harder, you're putting in huge hours. Like, how is this better? So once you become the entrepreneur, you're like, oh man, it is easier to have that cushy job. But then on the flip side, it's like, well, how long is that cushy job really gonna last?
If they're laying off 10,000 people at a time.
At a time. So it's like, okay, if over what time scale is a very narrow skill set not going to be competed away by technology?
Yeah.
And I have no idea. Like, I know how powerful this AI is. I'm like, it's really powerful. I mean, it's really, really powerful. So
it's nuts.
It is nuts. But Brigit, guess what?
What's up?
You are going to be able to generate any image you want just by describing it.
That's so cool. Like, I'm so excited about that.
So I'll put a link here in the window, in the chat window. Let me
And to go off what you were saying, I just realized night. Last night I was just like, man, I'm so excited to be working for myself, even though it's scary. And then I realized, because I love doing my taxes. I know that's a crazy thing to say, but I love doing my taxes. Both my parents are artists. Both my parents are, entrepreneurs as well. So they're like, hey, maybe go to the government, see how you like that. Benefits. I'm like, oh, I'll give it a try. And like, I realized that when I was working 9 to 5 in the government back in Ottawa, like I have a communication and film degree, and I was like, oh, I'll do something, fun and creative. At the same time, getting money, cool, let's do that. And I realized that even while I was working 5 days a week, 9 to 5 in the government, and doing gigs, like doing shows as well, and I worked one day at a violin store. So I was working 6 to 7 days a week on average. I still wasn't making enough to pay taxes. Like they were like, "Oh no, you're too poor. Like you should like no, don't worry. Like you keep that money." And I'm like, like, and I think that was the breaking point for me because I'm like, I'm working 7 days a week for other people, and I am still not able to move out of my parents' house. Like I'm still not. So like, either I can just hope that I get promoted, hope that like things get better, hope that like I can keep this sustainably, or I can just be like, do my own thing. And if I'm poor, that is my fault.
Right.
Kind of mentality. Like I'd rather do something about it than just hit here and be like, I hope they give me benefits one day.
Right. I think
Ugh.
it definitely goes in two directions. The first is like, what am I going to do about it? Like, do I give up and say, okay, well, the government has to do something about it? Or am I like going to take that action? And for a lot of people, it's hard to take that action because they don't even know where to start.
Yeah. And like, that's,
you know what I mean?
That's where I'm super lucky because my dad's an actor, writer, like screen director. Like he does everything in film, and my mom is a violinist and teacher. So they, got me working weddings and all that fun stuff from the age of like 12, 13, 14, whatever. I had business cards at the age of like 14.
Nice.
It's like,
ahead of the game.
I'll come to your wedding, and yeah. But that was just normal for me. I'm like, yeah, this is like, I don't need a summer job because I'm just working sporadically throughout the year, making like, $100 per gig. And as like a 14-year-old, that's like, yo.
Yeah, you got that real money.
Yeah, I got that real money. And like, now when I do, like, I've been doing taxes since I was like very, very, very young, but it's like a roadmap for the next year. It's just like, cool, what did I spend money on last year? Just put that in all the categories. I spent a lot of money on Ubers last year. Oh, okay, well, it was because I had more equipment that I needed to carry, and I don't have a car. That's fair. Okay, but let's see if we can shift the money from this category where I don't really need it this year to this category, or let's see where we can spend less. It's like, it's just so much fun. And I know that is a controversial statement, but
I was a tax accountant, Brigit.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a CPA.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Doing taxes is so much fun.
Not when you have to do all of your family's taxes every year.
No.
I just pay someone to figure it out for me. It's too. I tried doing taxes once, and this was when I was like still in school, and somehow I had to pay taxes. I was like, this doesn't make sense. I have zero income. What the heck? So ever since then, I was just like, you know what? Let someone else figure it out.
That's fair. That's very fair. It's so much fun. I'll probably get someone to help me with it, one day. But until that day, I've already started. I've already started on them, so I'm ready.
Yeah, I've already got all my
Teach Bridget.
documents
Oh
in
yeah,
check.
Paul.
I did what we're calling a permissionless marketing campaign, where we picked a company as a startup company called Fast, and we basically opened up our tool and allowed people on Twitter to come up with like viral marketing ideas for Fast, and then we gave away some AirPods for that.
Nice.
We had 10,000 people engage with the tweet. It had like 160,000 impressions on it,
Nice.
and we got like 1,200 clicks to our website off that one tweet, which was crazy. Have you thought about doing permissionless marketing for companies, like doing a video and then like an ad or a pitch to their company? Have you thought about that at all?
No. Permissionless marketing. So
You just make them an ad and just post it online. It's like, yo, I made this ad for whatever it is.
oh right. So it's like, hey guys, I'm not sponsored by this company, but I like them, and like, whoa, kind of deal.
Yeah,
I
just having fun with like a different brand and getting basically you can borrow a little bit of their reach.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I actually, when you put it like that, I absolutely have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you're like,
Did it work?
yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that worked with Comic-Con. That's like
Yeah.
one of the only reasons that I got the tour, is just kind of I started busking in costume outside of their shows or outside of the cons, and I just like I went. I mean that's IRL permissionless marketing, but I
Yeah.
was like,
No, that's perfect.
you know,
That's perfect.
outside of the exit door, so people would just like flood out. And I know when you go to a convention, you have cash, right? So I
Yeah.
just like yell at people like, "Hey, Batman, can I play your song?" And like, as a female busker, I had the advantage of being able to yell at children and no one arresting me. So I'm like, wow, hey there, Elsa. Oh my goodness, would you like to hear your Elsa song? And all the parents are like, oh my god, please take my child
Yes.
away for like 5. Just okay. Here's $20. I just need a hot dog. Please just babysit my child. You
It's so
random woman on the street. I'm like, oh, thank you very much.
true. It's so true.
And then I got enough money to like buy a weekend pass for me and my friend. She
Nice.
brought her camera. I went and did the same thing, and I'm like, okay, yo, if like anyone official walks up, like just say that we're like we didn't know we couldn't do that. And then, you know, like 3 months later, they're like, hey, so like you want to be a guest? Like,
Yeah.
thank you. Yes. It's either they like me or they kick me out and I'm banned, and let's take that chance.
That's right. That's a lot of content too if you film some of that.
Actually,
Yeah.
Paul, isn't what I did basically like permission?
Yes. So Brian tweeted out, "Hey, I'm like, would anybody want to see a video of me doing a whole ad campaign?" I think you said what, 45 minutes?
Yeah, I did. The first one,
45 minutes.
the first trial was under 45 minutes.
So this tweet shows up in my mentions. It has like 1 like on it, and Brian needs me to like it and retweet it. He didn't say, "Hey, do that," but like that's implied because it's like, "Yo, I'm gonna do a free video for you." So I like it and retweet it. It hits 300 likes. Brian,
Whoa.
how far did that tweet go?
That
Probably went a long way, right?
yeah, that like I think I gotten at least 100, or no, like we'll call it like 60 new followers on Twitter, based on that one
From
tweet.
one tweet. So the new growth hack is mentioning me in a tweet.
Yeah.
That's the original growth hack.
Yep.
And honestly, Brian, like that was probably my top mention for the
Aw.
whole month.
Nice. Yeah, the main thing, like I just thought it was a cool tool. I came across this, and then I was like, you know what, I want to try to do something with this tool and showcase how it would, because I'm horrible at copywriting, so this is kind of like a godsend for me. And a few of your competitors have actually recently reached out to me to be like, hey, do you want to test drive our product? And it's like, yeah, cool, okay.
Cool,
Yeah.
but no.
That's we've got, you know, people want to just piggyback on other people's stuff, so that happens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the scenario is like some of their
you're now the key opinion leader. You're now the expert on this.
well,
Because you do one YouTube video about it.
I don't know if I'm the expert, but it's I do know my way around ads. I think that's basically it. Copywriting, not so much. So the expert in copywriting is actually this tool now.
We're working on it. Like every time somebody runs it and likes it or saves it and
Mhm.
Rates it, we can improve the model. So these ads actually do get better over time.
Yeah, I've actually noticed that. I've run it from the first time I ran it when it was a trial account for me to now in a matter of like weeks. I guess the accurate or the hit rate, I would maybe even call it, is so much higher, because there were just like I had to run it so many times in the beginning just because like, oh,
Yes.
these don't make sense, and then now it's getting much higher percentage of headlines and descriptions that do make sense.
Yes.
As we're coming
That's
up
the great thing
to
about software, yeah.
yeah, as we're coming up to time, I actually have to a bad realization that I actually didn't prep Brigit's campaign build well enough, because I don't have all the assets for it. But essentially, it's kind of done. I just the assets aren't there, but you know, you just have to upload an image and copy a bunch of these campaigns over.
Are you targeting Zelda fans?
So one of the flows that I'm actually going to be working with Brigit to flesh out is targeting based on themes. So like, for example, whatever content that Brigit has, you know, for example, a Zelda cosplay, we're going to create landing pages for it that's very Zelda themed, and then targeting, you know, a specific campaign to target people who are fans of the Zelda franchise, and then get them engaged with Brigit's content, and hopefully from there become a follower and then become a Patreon supporter.
Oh, wicked.
So again, I apologize, I can't complete this build right now just because of the technical things with Google. The next things I have to do is basically finish typing up these two descriptions, click create campaign, and then copy the ad over a few times. And some of the in-stream campaign ads I can't create right now because it requires a 15-second video. It can't be anything more, or else it'll be like an error. But essentially it's done. This is maybe a bit over 30 minutes, but thankfully the Fizz Away campaign took under 30 minutes. So I would probably call this a 90% completion. I won't say I've completed the challenge, but it's an example of how much time this saved me. This would probably have saved me like close to 20 minutes in terms of the build. For the different campaigns, I would have to write different ad copy for it, and I think copy.ai would save me a minute or two for every theme thereof. But yeah, this is it. I think we can probably close off today's stream. Don't want to take up too much of your time, but there was one question actually I think for both of you. As an artist on Twitter, how would you build to get more organic engagement? So this was from a question from a good friend of mine, Alex Sinkits. He's just recently started his solo musician journey as a solo artist. So I love the guy. He's one of the most talented and hardworking people I know.
Do you know his Instagram? I'll creep him and send him I can send him an Instagram shout out to get them going. For Twitter, that I'm not really on it myself yet, so I have very
Oh, I can
yeah,
actually.
his guess is as good as mine.
You have okay, Bridget. I have a question for you. So, on Twitter, hot takes work really well.
Okay.
All right, to at least establish like who are you? Because you have the personas on Instagram and YouTube. That's probably you, right?
Mhm.
I mean, that is probably who you are in reality, not the person in like human clothes, you know?
Yeah.
So on Twitter, you want to be yourself, and if you have strong opinions about things, you got to put it out there. So like one of my things
Yeah.
is about Comic-Con. I think most people want to live in Comic-Con land,
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
Right? So when I think of the future, my future is like, that's where we're headed, is that
Yeah.
that's literally everywhere. So it's a future where everybody's totally creative, and not only are they buying these outfits, but they're going to use AI generation tools to come up with new costumes and new personas and new themes for real. Like you'll be able to not just be Zelda, but like build your own Brigit, like superhero character,
Yeah.
like a whole wardrobe fleet of things.
I am working on my own D&D OC character. So like D&D has actually, like Dungeons and Dragons, it is like spiked with the whole not being able to see your friends. So people are like,
Mhm.
"Oh, what can I do once a week that is with my friends, that is creative, that, you know, we can have a few beers and, you know, do some stuff with." You know, people have already binged all the TV shows. They've already watched all the movies, and
Yep.
they're like, "What can I do?" Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. Like my boyfriend is a professional DM on the weekends.
Wow.
Because
Nice.
there are just so many people who are like, "I want to do it, but I don't know all the rules." He's like, "Oh, okay, let's go." It's massive, and the number of people I see on TikTok just like, "Here's my character that is in my head that I play once a week with my friends." Like that's huge. OC TikTok is massive.
It's the future.
Unfortunately, my main character is very green, half orc barbarian. So like, I'm not at that level with makeup yet. So it's gonna be a while.
Yeah. Well, I think well, we should be building some cosplay tools at some
Yeah.
point.
That would be awesome.
I mean,
Like
yeah.
different character
Generator tool.
mashups.
yeah. If you two could cosplay as any character, who would you be?
You're talking
Ooh.
to me?
I
Oh my god, I don't know.
Paul, you go
I
first.
don't know. Probably the Grinch. I like the Grinch. I like his like just green, like furry fingers. That would be me.
Hello,
Just this huge,
oh, there
just
we
this
go.
huge thing.
Oh yes. Hello there, children. Oh.
Yes, exactly. That would be me.
So there was one point in my life where I was very big into bodybuilding, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna cosplay this year because I had the physique back then. I'm like 5'5", and I bulked up to about like 170 pounds. So I was just like
Nice.
this like massive ball of muscle, and I remember though that time I couldn't really turn my neck because I was just so bulky. That's it.
What?
And
Uh-huh.
that year I wanted to cosplay as Hulk, but I was just way too insecure to even take off my shirt. So
Oh.
I maybe one day, like I've gotten a lot of
Never know.
gotten over my insecurity of being online. So that's one small step forward. So maybe next time it would be cosplaying as the Hulk in the future.
Yeah.
Because it's
Like-
easy. You just paint yourself green and then wear a torn up pair of or purple shorts.
It ain't easy being green. How
Well-
are you gonna like paint yourself and then go on the subway and be like, okay, no one touch me. I can't sweat.
That's basically it.
Yeah. No one hug me. I'm very dangerous.
Just have someone continuously fan you. Just...
Yeah. When you are in cosplay, like you need like a second person there because you have your bags, you have your wallet, you know, you have, if you're just wearing a torn up pair of shorts, like you need someone there to hold all your other stuff.
Yep.
It's a thing.
Sidekick. Who's your sidekick?
Oh gosh, my sidekick is like I have a camera person, so we have to have a sidekick for the both of us, and it's usually someone carrying like a bag with like all the extra camera gear, the batteries. Now that I'm an official guest, I'm kind of allowed to leave my stuff like coats, shoes,
Nice.
stuff for the winter, violin case. I'm allowed to leave that in the office since I don't have a booth. But like you still need, you know, in every single one of our videos we have like the people's Instagrams or Facebooks or whatever that people can go find them as. So we need someone carrying the notebook. I'm just constantly running after people. Yo, what's up? Can I play a song for you? They're like, I guess. Like, cool. Yeah, it's either a mixture of my boyfriend, but he usually works weekends, so that's only been once. But my camera woman's fiance loves it. He's also a lawyer, so he's like, yo, I don't know if I can get the weekend off this week. So sometimes we just like hire an assistant.
Nice.
Just literally, hey, what's up? We need a camera assistant. Just protect us from like the 1% of people who try to like, you know, grab the camera or the violin and are like, oh wow, this is a prop. We're like, no.
Not a prop. Expensive equipment.
Ooh.
All
No,
right.
it's okay. Y'all will get your turns to be the Hulk and the Grinch very soon. I promise. The cons will be coming back in 2022.
I hope so. I've every year I say I'm gonna go, and every year I either forget to buy a ticket or like a bunch of my friends go, and then it's like, oh, that was last weekend.
Yeah.
Well,
Nah. Even if you don't dress up the first time, peer pressure. Yeah. Sorry.
All right. You can. I think in the video description, I have included all your different places that people can find you. Connect with Paul and Chris. Chris actually just made it onto the, or was he on earlier? I don't know. Hi, Chris.
He was watching it. Yeah.
Connect with Paul and Chris on Twitter.
Yo, put our last names on there because people are searching for us. That's how they found one of my other videos.
Okay, awesome. I will do that.
So put Yakubian and Lou on there.
Okay, and then
Yeah, this was fun. Brigit, it was
Yeah.
nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you too. I learned so much.
I
didn't-
low-key was
celebrity.
sweating the entire time, to be honest.
Don't lift your arms up. I get it. I'm there with you.
I did. Oh man, I did that. Like I was like, oh, like that, and it was probably a minute before I looked down. I'm like, oh wow, that's classy. Classy. That was
What-
on an investor call, so I was like, oh no.
It was great working with you guys today, and thank you so much for taking the time. In Brigit, I owe you this campaign, so once it's all polished up, and then we also chat about some of the assets, I'll hand this off to you very, very shortly.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Paula,
Thanks,
I appreciate your I guess I'm actually going to be following your lead in terms of building in public, because very soon I'm going to be launching my project in alpha, and then I'm going to be documenting my my journey of building that company.
Do it. This is the year to build in public. So let me give you a quick thought I'd had a couple of years ago. So
Mm-hmm.
I went into like accounting, and most parents tell their kids, "Oh, you should be a lawyer, like a CPA, or go into finance." But I had no freaking clue what it was like to actually do the job.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got in there, you're in a cubicle and 2 monitors in harsh fluorescent light and no windows for like 10 hours a day.
I
Right?
wish I could turn this
So-
camera around for you, and that you're actually describing my spare bedroom.
Oh, it's not like that. So what I wanted to do was have a website for high school students. All it was live streams from people's offices, and you would see how boring these
Mhm.
jobs actually are, one after the next. And if they saw it, they would not want to go into these industries at all.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
So anyway, that was the idea.
Yeah.
Like you watch Law and Order, like, dude, that's not how, attorneys they're not doing that. They're in Microsoft Word and Outlook all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And CPAs, like, I'm in Excel nonstop. And so I was like imagining this live stream future. What does it look like? And this is kind of it. So in terms of building in public, what you do on Twitter is if you're trying to start a business, you're running into like a million problems that you have to overcome. So the core thing with Twitter is this is a crowd of people, and when you're a user on Twitter, you want to be helpful. Like that's when you engage, right? Somebody asks a question, you know the answer to it, boom, I'm going to answer it right there in the thread. So when you do it, not only are you answering that question for you, but you're answering the question for anyone who has the same question.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're starting a company, around me, everybody is starting a company or wants to. So when I ask a question, this is like a huge leverage multiplication and shared knowledge at that point. And it's extremely powerful for knowledge transference. So I do that, number one. Number two is like getting people excited about the future. I mean, these AI tools are crazy. The company that makes them, it undersells how game-changing this is going to be.
100%. Yeah.
And I don't think that's a good idea. I think you need to get people hyped up. And when you get them hyped up, it needs to be about what they can do with it. Like as an entrepreneur, not like how it's going to impact them as an employee. So when I look at it that way, I'm like, these are going to enable a whole generation of entrepreneurs. I think it's going to be 1 billion within like 5 years, which is nuts. But I think that's the level of game changingness that we're going to get to. And it's also going to unleash creativity of people across the planet. So if you suck at writing, and we have a whole suite of tools that can write anything you want, you can now express yourself just by telling it what kind of thing you want it written, and then you'll know it when you see it. When you see an output you like, that is literally your output, because you're no longer limited by what you can write. You're limited by what you like, which is your true creative potential. And it works the same way with artists and illustrators. They can't illustrate exactly what's in their head. So even this great artists, they make a piece of artwork and then they hate it. They're like, I know what's wrong with it. I don't like it. And then 50 times as many people can't even put the first thing on the paper at all.
Yeah.
So now if you could describe what you want, you could actually build all of your art. You can have these amazing houses. You can have these amazing pieces of art on the wall. And then you go, like my kids, I can't make this art. Let me show you this over here. That's my 6-year-old.
Whoa.
I can't make this.
Wow.
You know? And she did that when she was like maybe 4.5 or 5. Just like boom, plastering this beautiful like paint all over the place. And so I think that this creative future is like, we're on the cusp of it. It'll happen if you're early on it. Like if you're using our platform, we're going to be integrating it first. we're talking about within 12 months.
Wow.
And it's not
Nice.
just digital stuff. It's imagining physical products and then being able to buy them.
Nice. That's so exciting. I want to touch up.
Mass-produced stuff it's over. Like we just won't have mass-produced stuff unless it's like Mr. Beast selling Mr. Beast themed stuff, and he has the audience and brand to push it out across the
The
planet.
Beast Burgers.
How are you going to compete with him on brand?
Right.
How's any big corporate entity going to compete? It's not going to be. So
Yeah.
in this future, I also see YouTubers being the brand on everything. It's like
It's a democratization. It's going to decentralize to the individuals.
not really. It's the YouTuberization or the TikTokerization. It's different. It's like people being themselves, authentic, building a brand around having fun. That's really what Mr. Beast does, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's in the business of distributing fun across the planet.
Awesome.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
When you talked
stuff's
about
boring, Brian. We think about how many of that like 100 billion in ads on Google. How much of that stuff's just boring?
Oh yeah, I personally has put out about like maybe 30% of that boring stuff.
It's got to stop. So I want people to start thinking more about how creative they can be and pushing it to the limit.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can do that, your stuff will work organically, and you won't have to spend as much on paid ads.
For sure.
Because it starts to compound, and you build these. If you can build a flywheel where, like Brian laid out for you, how all of your different platform orientations are building this core brand, and you're pushing that like to your website. I think that's smart. So
Yeah.
if you can build it that way, and you have to figure out like what is my anchor thing. So when someone hits my site, what's the experience they're expecting,
Mm-hmm.
and then like how are we going to engage with them, or how do they want to engage with us? Like those are the core questions.
All right. We could go on all day about this because I feel like I love chatting with you, Paul, and we're both very passionate people about what we do, and I love that energy, and I'm so happy to have you here, and so glad you took the time to chat and sort of talk to us about the future, and leading the way also kind of like for even smaller companies like me to take a stab at building in public. So I'm super thankful for all your work. Brigit, thank you for your time. The famous person of the trio of us here.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for having me.
All right, so I owe you some work, so I'm gonna be doing that very shortly, and I actually have to hop onto a call very soon. So
Yeah.
All right.
thank you so much, guys. Any closing remarks?
Nope.
Okay.
Good luck. Have fun. You're doing your best. Dab it out.
Yes.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you so much. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Bridget.